So, oh, hey there, Salty. Immediately, hello. Cheers. So we're doing something different. New game now that we've exhausted oxygen, not included. We're gonna try something I played a lot of as a child, and now that I can read, this might go a little easier. How you doing, Salty? Hope you're doing well. Let this game introduce itself. Neither can my son. He's 2. SimEarth. Is there an attract mode? Wouldn't think to sit here and not push a button as a child. There is. Hey, Misty. 4.5 billion years ago, the newly born Earth was much smaller than it is today. Many meteor crashes increased the Earth's temperature. However, as Earth's surface gradually cooled, water vapor in the atmosphere became raindrops which fell to the ground. The rain then formed the oceans from which life forms is emerged. The first life form was single-celled and so small that it probably could be seen only through a microscope. Probably. Fish appeared 500 million years ago and then developed into amphibians. Soon Earth became crowded with many different types of creatures. Earth is certainly a miracle planet, and its evolving life forms have greatly changed the environment. If all life forms were wiped out, Earth would eventually perish. That is incorrect. Earth would be fine without us. Hello, I'm Gaia. I will help you develop your planet until you become an accomplished Gaianizer. Call me whenever you are in trouble. I don't know what's with the bottom of that, but... Hey, I played video games before I could read. I learned to read playing video games. Maybe she'll learn to... this is on the Super Nintendo. I believe it was also on PC, but I didn't have a PC as a kid. Definitely looks like a computer. So, I don't know what backup initializes. Oop. Alright, the B button goes back. Let's go ahead and go back in. Right, don't push the B button, or else the world will end. Other scenarios, there's Random Planet, there's Daisy World. I have memories of this. I don't remember much about it. What does backup initialize? No idea what that did. There is a dictionary. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to reach over here. There's my child. I'm going to grab... Where is it? Where did I last put? Where is it? One of these has... No, I'll make a new one. There I am. I'm going to add a... Got it somewhere, I just don't. There, text. We're fighting a boar on a horse. This is not that. This is way worse than that. Read from file. Browse. I save this to my desktop first. Call this nerd. And I'm going to go to the desktop. I'm going to look for nerd. There. Done. Alright. And now as I... Where did nerd go? You. Where'd you go? Fit to screen. There. Now we stretch out the nerd. And... Oh boy, you got big. Alright, hold on. Fit to screen. Why is it doing this? What? Why is this so big? Font. Increase the font. Good. I know I did this for Final Fantasy. I think I just have this already made somewhere. Don't know where it went. Alright, so it's on top. I could only get this thing to... Oh, color. That's the problem. Yeah, there. That one. Maybe that's the problem? Alright, we'll figure it out another way. Let's read. Oh, I pressed the B button. No! Okay, it's fine. Dictionary. Biome. Tell me about the ocean. This thing came with the Wikipedia. This didn't happen back in the day. The oceans were formed about 600 million years after the formation of the Earth. Life began in the oceans, then evolved to land. Look at this. Look at the planet. This guy's going to help us kind of learn about things. Alright, there's not much to know about the ocean there. It's going to kick me back every time. Awesome. It's a good stash. Sam Elliott stash. Rocks. Life cannot exist on rocks. Plants cannot grow without CO2 or rain. The land will become barren. Let's learn. So, there is a cheat in this game that every Let's Play apparently uses. I don't understand why you're gonna bother if you cheat. So, we're gonna learn. And we're gonna do it right, the way the developers intended. Arctic. When the land is very cold and dry, it becomes the Arctic. No creatures in SimEarth can live in the Arctic. There must not be any penguins in the Arctic on this game. Dramatic voice reading. Alright. The next one we will read as the planet. The Boreal is very cold, with lots of rain. Boreal is mainly of pine trees, which are also called taiga. All land animals can survive here. Oh no, this is an Earth game. What's my best David Attenborough? Alright, so trees are good. Everything can live in the trees. When the temperature is very hot and dry without rain, the land dries and becomes the desert. In SimEarth, only reptiles can survive here. About grass. Hey man, if the climate is warm, moderately rainy, the land becomes green and healthy. Here are some grasses which can thrive here. You know, grass, man. We're having fun. Alright, read about the forest. It is warm and rainy. The forest will thrive. Many types of plants and animals can live here. But sorry, so don't. If it turns into the desert, we're good. Rocks suck. I like that there's a bit of black in there, so I can tell the difference. Jungle. Jungles thrive where it is warm and rainy. Lots of oxygen is made here, creating clean air for all. And swamp. Tell me about the swamp. Places with high temperature and moderate rain will become swamps. Most land creatures can thrive in the swamps. Starfish, crabs, and octopi can live here too. You know many octopus in swamps? Duck Dynasty would be very different. That's it for... no. There's no way to go back one. Right, life. Tell me about sea life. What you got for me? Hit me with the data. Bacteria. All life evolved from a single cell formed on Earth 3.5 billion years ago. Later, bacteria evolved into amoebae. Yeah, he's teaching us. We have apprenticed for 500 million years, and the guy here is giving us our own planet. Tell me about amoeba. Amoeba are single-celled living creatures with a nucleus. The creatures evolved into multi-celled animals, which eventually became starfish. Is that right? The very first creature, multi-celled creatures on Earth were starfish? Everything becomes starfish. Starfish were formed 700 million years ago. Jellyfish and anemones are in the same group as starfish. Starfish evolved into crabs, or trichordates. No, this is Patrick. Tell me about the crab. I don't know if this picture looks like a crab. That looks like a crab. Crabs were formed 600 million years ago. Originally aquatic arthropods, they were the same group as shrimp, lobster, and crayfish. All delicious. From crabs evolved octopi and insects. Insects? See, here's the thing. I don't know if I'm learning or if they're just pulling things out of their butt. That doesn't look like a crab to me. That looks like a jellyfish. That looks like an octopus. Octopi. Octopi were formed 600 million years ago. They were in the same group as mollusks, snails, and squid. Octopus evolved into fish. Note, octopi are not fish. Tell me about fish. Fish were formed 430 million years ago. They were the first creatures on Earth to have a spine. The ocean's ecological systems made great strides after fish were born. Fish evolved into amphibians. I feel like Guy is a little biased towards the fish. Fish are freaking awesome, says Gaia. And then we're skipping amphibians, we're going right to whale. Whale. Look at that whale! You know what? I'm gonna take a screenshot of it. This is gonna be my new icon everywhere. The whales and dolphins were formed by the evolution of terrestrial mammals. The reason for their return to the ocean remains a mystery. They went to land, realized it sucked, went back into the ocean. Now tell me about land. Trichordates. Trichordates were primitive animals that became extinct. We felt sorry for them, so we left them in SimEarth. Trichordates were not evolved into other creatures. I never read this as a kid. What kid? I couldn't read. What would I pop into this? Trichordates will not evolve into other creatures. Tell me about them bugs. Insects. Insects have the largest variety of all the creatures in SimEarth. They evolved from crabs after plants began to grow on land. Alright, I feel like there are hints here. Some clues. Not sure what that icon's supposed to be. Amphibians. That's a good frog. 410 million years ago, amphibians became the first active land life with spines. These creatures still require water in order to live. So do we. Frogs and newts are in this group. From the amphibians evolved the reptiles. You ain't special, frogs. If I don't have water, I die too. Reptiles. Reptiles were formed 330 million years ago. The appearance of reptiles opened up possibilities for land activities. Lizards, snakes, and turtles are in this group. Dinosaurs and mammals evolved from the reptiles. Dinosaur. Look at that smiley dinosaur. Dinosaurs were formed 260 million years ago. The age of dinosaurs lasted for 200 million years. Dinosaurs became extinct 65 million years ago, but they are not extinct in SimEarth. Birds and mammals evolved from the dinosaurs. Did we? Birds. These flying dinosaurs evolved into their feather-covered bodies 220 million years ago. At first, they could only glide through the skies. In SimEarth, birds cannot evolve into other living creatures. Chordates and birds cannot evolve. Mammals. That's a good monkey. Mammals were formed 220 million years ago. One significant characteristic of mammals is that they feed their babies breast milk. Some mammals evolve into whales. I was going to be taking notes on the side, it's just not working. I'll figure that out another time. Carnifer? Why are you at the bottom of the list? What is this? Carnivores. These plants are formed in places where insects exist. In SimEarth, it is possible for these plants to have intelligence. Carnivores advance along with the insects, however, do not evolve into other living things. Pitcher plants can become intelligent. Eat enough insects that you learned to create fire. Alright, civilization. The Stone Age. Stone Age civilization started 1 million years ago. Characterized by the use of stone tools, Stone Age people learned to use fire and introduce group behavior. Interesting thing about these ages is that they actually developed independently of each other across humans across the globe, as like some were being Bronze Ages, some were in Iron Ages, some went straight to one to the other because bronze is like a weird alloy. Not everyone had access to tin, so people skipped certain ages, things like that. The Bronze Age began 5,500 years ago. Humans used bronze weapons and agricultural tools. From this time, social classes among people were formed and agriculture became more active. The Iron Age began 2,000 years ago. It was characterized by extensive use of iron for weapons and agricultural tools. Industry. The Industrial Age developed from the Industrial Revolution of the mid-18th century to the beginning of the Atomic Age. The use of advanced tools and power machinery both enhanced progress and destroyed the environment. You would think he'd be more pissed off about that. He is the environment. We are the environment. Tell me about the atom. It's the Atomic Age. Civilization is using large amounts of atomic energy. Missing a word there. The Atomic Age is very similar to current-day Earth. Fossil fuels are decreasing, and the amount of CO2 in the air is reaching dangerous levels. Okay. So far we have one typo and one missing word. Inform. Information Age. Computers are introduced and the processing of information becomes very important. Our future may parallel this civilization. It may? Like, we might start using a computer? I guess this is like early 90s. Maybe this game was like, yeah, computers are bad. Nanotech. The ultimate level of technology in SimEarth is the Nanotech Age. The technology allows teleportation so that you will see no one physically moving around. All things is beyond our imagination. Is. Alright, and a piece of grammar is wrong. Biome Factory. Wherever you place the Biome Factory, plants suitable to that environment will begin to grow. Biome Factories work well on Mars and Venus. Biofactory makes biome. O2 generator. I'd imagine it releases oxygen. Produces oxygen from CO2. 15 to 25% of Earth's oxygen is consumed by living things. In fact, 20% of the Earth's atmosphere is oxygen. Too much oxygen can increase the number of fires. Nitrogen. Produces nitrogen from the air. To increase the air pressure, you should increase the amount of nitrogen. When the air pressure is high, the temperature is more stable. Today, 70% of the air on Earth is nitrogen. That is correct. Vapor. The vaporator produces water vapor. Oh, water vapor. Increases the amount of rain. Plants and living creatures thrive on rain. Be careful, too much rain will increase the temperature. Too much rain will increase. What about carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide generator produces carbon dioxide in the air. It's necessary for plants to grow. Too much will raise the temperature and create the greenhouse effect. So everything will increase the temperature. So this is the cheat. We'll make it evolve. Like that's the cheat. We're not using that. We're gonna do it for real. Because apparently no one has. Ice meteor. Crashing an ice meteor against a planet will produce enough water to create an ocean. Meteor. Ice. Okay. Others. Oh, there's so much more. I hope all of these have sub. Oh no, okay. Gaia theory. This theory was developed by James Lovelock in England. The theory describes the Earth as a living system with its environment, regulated by its plants and living creatures. Is this real? Hold on. James Lovelock. English scientist and environmentalist. He's best known for proposing the Gaia hypothesis, which postulates that the Earth functions as a self-regulating system. He named the hypothesis after Gaia, the primordial deity, which is sometimes personified as the Earth in Greek mythology. No one believes this, but that's the gist of it. Would I imagine is just that means that Earth is trying to keep a biome such that life could survive. Like it's actively working towards that goal. Which I guess was what we're doing here. Tell me about evolution. Small planet. About 600 million years ago, the first complex living creature was formed along with our atmosphere. Plants and animals then advanced onto land. The process of birth, evolution, and extinction is constantly occurring. Don't we feel like we've learned a lot in 20 minutes from this orb? Tell me about civilization. Humanity was formed 4 million years ago in Africa. Civilization progressed from the first use of fire and tools to the complexities of modern life. I feel some of these feel phoned in. Technology. After England's 18th century industrial revolution led to factory production and the invention of various labor-saving machines, the world became a more convenient place. Unfortunately, the environment often falls victim to these advancements. Tell me about the sun. Life expectancy of the sun. The life expectancy of the sun is thought to be approximately 10 billion years old. As its death approaches, the sun will flare and the earth will be scorched by its heat. The sun will eventually destroy the earth. That is correct. And But it didn't mention is about 10 billion years. It's already been going for about 6. So it's more than half of its life, and then it will begin to, yes, expand. And that will, it will reach to about Mars, the comet belt, so the asteroid belt, and we'll be engulfed. Hopefully by then we can get out of here. If we're still around here in like 4 billion years. Alright, tell me about life. The formation of life. The sun's ultraviolet rays have energized planetary components and generated the first synthetic reactions of amino acids and other organic compounds. These amino acids clump together and take on the characteristics of the primitive cell. There's the origin of life right there. Okay. That they put effort into. Tell me about daisies. Daisy World. What is that pixel art? This is a model for the Gaia theory. In this world, there are only daisies. The daisies change their color to adjust the heat absorption rate and to control the air temperature. Okay. And Exodus. It's a game we'll be playing eventually. Exodus plan. Though many problems still remain on present-day Earth, mankind will solve them. The future will see space colonization and many other advances. So, mankind will solve them by leaving. This planet sucks. See ya. Alright, that's everything. Let's, first scenario. Aquarium. Evolution timescale. This planet is not able to sustain civilization in its current situation. How can living things create a civilization? Space, question mark? Creatures that can use fire do not live in the ocean. Right? I didn't push a button, that was just timed perfectly. And here we have the UI. Here we are, this is the planet. There's water, shallow water, deep water. The planet at this point is 3 billion years old. No altitude. I'm pushing buttons. There we go. Alright, select. I push select. Alright, here we are. We are jumping ahead to... What are you? Look. Hold on. Buttons. Alright, square to the left brings up this. Okay, I don't want to put things down. That's... Alright, to the right places things. Nope, oh, alright, select brings me back to the planet. There's gotta be a look button. Alright, top buttons. Right, R lets me scroll. L does the same thing. Oh, that's the turbo button. We don't want that. Oh, this is a slot. This is a floppy disk, by the way, for you youngins. This is how you saved back in this time frame. Oh my, the saving! Look how long it takes to save. Turbo. Oh my god, it would take you 5 minutes to save the game. Okay. Time. Okay, let's slow down time. Music. You could stop the music and play your own. That's cool. Alright, Gaia, what do you think? The number of biomes is increasing. The animals and planets regulate the planetary environment. Keep increasing biomes. The more living things on a planet, the better the environmental regulation. Oh, he's so happy. Look at him go. That won't always be the case. At least as a kid, it wasn't. He gets very upset with you eventually. Alright, and... map mode? Alright, this is map mode. This is edit mode. Alright, this is edit mode. What is globe? globe. Show me the whole planet. I'm not spinning it. It's going on its own. Alright, this is what God sees, I guess. Yeah, this is disorienting. Get back into the planet. Guess there's no way to poke something. That's trying to put something down. Oh, there it is. Examine. There. Tell me about... What is this? Crab. It's a type of crab. No civilization. No magma, no wind. Temperature yellow. Altitude rock. Octopus. Actually, we got crab, we got octopus. Bacteria. We've learned about all of these things. Amoeba. This is a kind of crab. There's 16 kinds of crab. So many. Alright, so we're starting off on this is Waterworld. That was not a good movie. We're gonna... Hey, tidal waves. Look at that. So one thing I do remember as a kid, you could set off natural disasters. That's pretty much all I did as a kid. We have points. It costs 5 points to examine something. We have this many points. Over time, we get more points as time goes by. Right, we could place biomes. We could place life forms. We could just throw down a dinosaur in the ocean if we wanted to. We could throw down a civilization. Throw down some O2 generate. Now there's more things we didn't touch. Right, hold on. Wrong button. Now, the real meat and potatoes of this. There's all sorts of data. Tell me about magma vectors. Oops. Only works on the big map here. Now, none of this meant anything to me as a kid. Tell me about air temperature. It's alright, it's hot on the equator, less cold on the poles. That makes sense. Alright. Altitude. Water temperature. As we expect. Maybe being colorblind caused some problems, but I know these are tidal waves, so we saw them. Tidal waves happening on Ocean World, can you believe it? And then there's this. There's sliders. My own planet. Yes, Graphic. Look, I am designing my own planet. The sliders. This is the meat and potatoes of this freaking game. How many volcanoes do we want? We don't want any volcanoes. Erosion. Erosion. Lower that down a little bit. Meteors. Up the meteor. The axial tilt of the planet. Where do we want the equator? Kind of like an earthy thing. You know what? Straight up and down. Screw it. Continental drift. We don't have any planets right now. Form the core. Do what you gotta do. How much any of these matter? No idea. Oh, let's fix the view exit. No. Push the button. I want to see life. No! That's all messed up. Look at Alright. What if I go back and just go back in? How you doing, Graffin? Welcome to Earth. Well, welcome to Water World. Oh no, it's keeping the same. Biome's off. Doesn't work that way. What do you? Which one did I think I have on to start with? Indicator? No idea. Yeah. Whale. I want back out. We're back to edit mode. Hey, tricordites were born. Yeah, so when new things happen, they'll tell me. Just enough time passed that tricordites have born. Remember, SimEarth felt sorry for these guys. Hey, amphibians! There's no land for the amphibians. We should do something about that. We'll get there. There's sliders to play with. I just need to figure out how to fix this. If I select this again, does it turn off? No. Altitude? Is that what I had on? Yeah, this altitude's what we had on. Sliders. The atmosphere. How much do we want the solar impact? The solar impact. I'm really hoping this was a Japanese game and someone just half-assed porting it over. That's fine. Let's keep this be. Cloud albedo. What is a cloud if I Google... Alright, the cloud albedo effect. The phenomenon where clouds reflect incoming solar radiation back to Earth, cooling the Earth's surface. Alright, that's a way to cool down the Earth. Good to know. I did not know that term. And the greenhouse effect heats it up, so let's leave that down. Rainfall, bring that, bring it up. We're gonna, about to make a lot of trees, I'm hoping. Surface albedo. Right, these all look good. And we have ways to affect the temperature. What the biosphere? Tolerance for the sun. Reproduction. Reproduction. How fast do you want them to reproduce? Advancement up. Mutation up. Reproduction. Now, one thing I'm noticing, changing the sliders is costing points. Apparently, God has only so many Omega points to spend. Alright, investment. Yeah, bio, when you're getting started, as they evolve, we'll go ahead and tweak these. And we don't have civilization, so we'll just see what they need as they go. I guess learning to read playing this game would have been helpful since things are wrong. And then there's graphs. There is so much data. There's a lot of methane in the atmosphere. No dust. Well, 0.338. That's not a lot. Oh, that looks good. Learning to lead. Tell me about history. Oh yeah, I don't need to know the history of everything. There hasn't been any of the history yet. Life? Mostly bacteria, amoeba, some starfish, and crab. I guess the tricordite and the amphibians die because there's no, that just reborn. There's no, no land for them. We'll fix that soon. Give me a report. Oh, I was hoping Gaia would tell me. The highest life form, fish. Task, use fire. Okay. Maybe we can get crabs to use fire. Save button, okay. Hey, what do you think, Gaia? We're about to actually start playing. 40 minutes in. Still looking good. So happy. That's a great GIF. I should make a GIF out of that and put it on the screen. Okay, first thing to do is dive back in. And we have more tools that I hadn't poked yet. That's the wrong button. Select is your quick. That's that button, no. There you go, the left button. I can throw down the terraforms we learned about. There's also events. I could make a storm. I could make a tidal wave. I can make a meteor, a volcano. Don't drop the... We could drop an N-bomb. Don't drop an N-bomb. Fires. E-quake. For earthquake. Plagues. It's a good picture for plague. Could also manually raise and lower the ground. So actually what I want to do is, I think a volcano would actually be pretty good. Let's see. We'll start, because a volcano will raise the raise the land. Let's fuck this octopus in particular. Yeah, that works. Eat shit. And then get off that button so I don't do it again by accident. And now we want to go back to... Where was the speed button? Yeah, normal. Welcome. We are God. We have sliders and buttons to press. Immediately, trees are forming. It is a Japanese game, as we can tell from the translation. Give the tree some time to look. We poke the tree. Just a tree. What I did not consider is that where did I do this on the big map? Okay, so what I didn't want to do was put it on the equator. Although, since I changed the axial tilt of the planet, where is the equator now? Still there. Still down the center. The planet now spins directly that way. The wrong button. Oh, it's the wrong button. Hold on. We'll learn the controls eventually. Look at altitude. That's I feel like it's altitude is my standard one to look at. Alright, so we have a little bit of land. The goal of scenario 1 is to have a civilization start using fire. So we'll let the trees happen, and hopefully amphibians will be re-evolved, and this time they'll have some land to crawl onto. Oh, what's up? What's up? Insects! Nice! Oh, the tidal wave just took away some of my land. Gotta make sure I have land for it. There's my amphibian. Amphibian, make your way over here. Are you swimming towards the land? I should lower the rainfall so that it doesn't bury this. I was thinking rainfall up for the trees, but it might actually bury the land. I don't know how much each of these cost. I'm down to 2,400. 13 million years have passed. I don't know where that insect would evolve, but you get over to land, crawl up here, become reptile. What are you? Fish. We have a tile of land. How did that now, a volcano, how did it affect the atmosphere? I imagine it would have heated it up. It made 17%, 2% dust. Alright, so it was very dusty. Launched a shitload of CO2 into the atmosphere. So plants will be able to live. Are there any of these that I could throw down to help? Plants eat CO2, it spits, and then they spit out oxygen. So that'll kind of work itself out. Our atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, and that's looking alright right now. It's just gonna need time for the plants to grow. Can't launch another volcano. That knocks 2% of the atmosphere is now dust. Give a little bit of time there. The land's still shrinking. How much does it cost to raise the land? 2. This is where civilization will happen. Stay away from me. You stay away, tidal wave. Stay away from my land. Good. Land. To me, to my eye, these look like elephants. I guess they're supposed to be crustaceans. And let's go ahead and go to fast. Just waiting for things to evolve. But the point of this game is to get a civilization. One thing I do remember, anything can become sentient here. You could have crabs go to space, whales, birds. Apparently, pitcher plants, according to the wiki, the in-game wiki. Not necessarily humans. Humans may or may not evolve in this timeline. Jungle. Or swamp. I don't remember. I think a swamp. Just a little wetland. Maybe the amphibian will crawl onto it. Land happening anywhere else, or only where I threw down the volcano, which is good enough. All of civilization can happen on these tiny isles. There is like a random planet mode where you could have unlimited energy and you could really mess around. That's what I did as a kid. You throw down animals like dinosaurs and then throw meteors at them. Put down a human and throw down the N-bomb. But it's called... Why did they order it like this? Why did they just call it nuclear? The atom. Why would they translate it this way? Hey, I could check. How much does it cost to drop a nuclear warhead? 50. That's it. I could nuke a fish. Maybe that'll help with the evolution. Alright, it's been 27 million years. What do you think, Gaia? I think it's pretty happy. Nothing's going horribly wrong yet. Number one thing that would happen to me as a kid is that he'll get really upset when it gets hot. Maybe there's a slider I could adjust for... to get more land. We decrease erosion. Don't erode the land I have. More meteors to create land. Maybe a meteor would have been a better choice than a volcano. Bring up volcanoes and... increase the heat a bit. Put the tilt back. Maybe from the bottom, if it heats up a bit, maybe some of this ocean will recede. So what every Let's Play on YouTube does of this, and every Game Facts guide, just recommends grab one of these, save your game, and use it. This will instantly civilize an animal. It's the cheat button in the game. It also costs $2,500. There we go. We got a little swampland. We're gonna see what it takes to play this game by its own rules. This amoeba just crawled up on... maybe it had landform under it? One thing that's disappointing, you can't access the dictionary from in-game. Hey, amphibian, get on land. Become a reptile. We did crank all the numbers for animals, right? Yeah, their tolerance. Maybe that's it. Get the CO2 out of the air, please. Reproduce all you want. Reproduction. This was released in America for NES amounts of money in the early 90s. This was probably like 50, 60 bucks back then. Oh. Well. These things happen. The dictionary said too much oxygen in the air will cause fires. Are we absorbing too much CO2, enough CO2 to release too much oxygen? I'm not going to worry about it unless it keeps happening. Hey, forest over here. Good guy. I don't like that my land mass is shrinking. Get up. Maybe I'll have a starter, another starter one somewhere else. You right here. Welcome to land. Come on. There you go. Enjoy. We'll see how you do later. My land! There was forest here a million years ago. Like, I tried looking at, like, Game Pass guys to kind of see it and get an idea of how this game's supposed to be played. They don't. They just don't. Some land on its own. Awesome. Good to see it. Possibly are adjusting the core, heating up the planet ever so slightly to boil a little bit of the ocean away. Maybe it's just a little. Cold up top, hot in the middle, temperate around the... Yeah. Seems like it should be like that. Seems reasonable. Having a nice snack of tortilla chips. Like a monster with no salsa. I don't have any. That's a fun starfish. Are you Patrick? Yeah, pretty much. Where was that other land? It's gone. If we go to reports and ask about life, what kind of life are we looking at here? A ton of bacteria. Why is nothing else living here? Hold on. Alright, there you have our problem. Too much dust. Alright, so that's what I'm guessing is... This is trying to tell me this is bad, this is eh, this is good. This is probably like, you know, green means go. Our CO2 and methane are down. Nitrogen, I guess the only way to make nitrogen is either... Nitrogen's typically made through, like... just having enough creatures here. I could throw down a terraformer. This will raise the temperature, though. These are 500. If I do this, will it not be able to sink into the ocean, or can I use it on the ocean? Throw down some nitrogen. There. That's nitrogen. Not sure the icon's trying to tell me there. You know, when God gets involved and decides to start doing things like this. It's 500 for each of these. I don't have that much land. I should also add oxygen. Maybe with this we can start getting some animals going. There's a little too much CO2 still. But nitrogen and oxygen are on the rise. Still too much oxygen. They'll be consumed by living things. When I have them. If I can. Hey, I saw an insect. It died. But it was there. Land. Land. Hey, some land. Now, this land, I did increase the meteors. It is possible that these are just where meteors have landed. The poles are increasing. A lot of creatures on by the poles. Ish. How do I delete these things? I did see that there's a speed run of this. I'd imagine it just uses the monolith. The Game Pass guide I have open right now, because I was curious, recommends putting down a life form and then evolving it with the monolith. It says, you know what? Don't play this game. Just cheat. Squid. Squid has become amphibian. Forest squid. Well, the dictionary said they can live in the swamp. The poles are increasing. This is the fast speed, by the way. Alright, let's pull up I have a stopwatch. Every 250,000 years. Every 2 seconds, 250,000 years go by. You've lived here for millions of years. This is your home now, Crab. Our fish are dying out. Lots of bacteria. It's just 0.3% dust. Methane. Nitrogen's still not good. Air pressure's low. Not much I can do about that without creatures. What do you think? No problem. There's no specific problem right now. Don't worry, your planet is flourishing. You're growing a healthy planet. Guy is starting to fall asleep at the wheel. No problems here. We just wait. Evolution. Waiting for something to evolve and crawl onto land. In which case, what we should do is actually reproduce a lot, but don't mutate. Just mutate to a new animal. Don't advance into other kinds of that animal. Yes? CO2 is good. CO2 is bad. There's no CO2 in the air. No, we don't want you to do that. That's not what we're looking for. I want to poke at Biosphere. Chill out on absorbing all that CO2, please. You might need some of that. Crab. Crab everywhere. Everywhere you look, crab and bacteria. It's like spring break, formals. Squid, bacteria, crabs. It's a sorority house. We've used up almost all our points on the sliders. GameFAQs has exactly one walkthrough and it tells you to cheat. The other one that just says FAQ is full of misspelling, so it kind of matches this game. He has used the wrong there 4 times in the first page. And then it's listing the different kinds of animals, and under crabs it says nice little crustaceans. They can also go on land. They evolve into, I think, octopi insects. I think. Please email me if you know. The game's wiki literally tells you that information. Alright, the animals are getting out of control. Okay, I might need to pull back on the reproduction rate. There are a lot of fish. What is this? What are you? The fish left me a present. Hey, thanks, Gaia! I have never seen this. Here's 500 points. Thanks, Gaia. Alright, I let a few million years go by of increasing the reproduction. And now, the ocean, nothing is evolving. I was thinking if they reproduce a lot, with mutations up, that I'll very quickly get a mutation. Might just need more nitrogen in the air. Somehow not a lot of water vapor? We are nothing but ocean. Amphibian, get on land. Turn to a reptile. I'll have to keep an eye out for presents left for me by Gaia. I thought the crabs left me a gift. Thanks for all the boning. So long. Alright, we gotta call... Chill out on boning, guys. Amphibian, please. Alright, so that's been down for millions of years. How's the atmosphere looking now in relation to nitrogen? Still not enough. I guess. T-Mobile's having a little bit of a spike. See if it corrects itself. Local recording will go uninterrupted as usual. Spends a lot of time with T-Mobile on the phone. They pretty much told me the elevation difference between you and the closest tower and tree coverage means we just can't give you what you pay for. Sucks to be you. I named my new Wi-Fi T-Mobile Sucks. What do you think, buddy? No problem. It's a healthy planet. We have a goal here. When have you evolve, or you just get trapped on land? Let's go back to this terrible walkthrough here. Dinosaurs. My personal fave! All caps. I love dinos. I always have them rule the world. Where'd the ice caps go? Ice caps are gone. Still cold and hot in the right places. These things happen, I guess. That's right. My land is going down a little bit. How do you feel about the temperature now? Oxygen's good. Not enough. Still not enough nitrogen. Not enough CO2. Okay, I could fix that easily enough. Slider atmosphere. Not atmosphere. You can always adjust temperature this way. Biosphere. There's a methane slider. All of these creatures in the ocean should be producing such a thing. Well, CO2 absorption going up means there actually be less CO2 in the air. Throw down some water vapor. It's weird that we don't have water vapor in the air. Alright, the animals are way less populated than they were before. Some sort of mass extinction event happened at some point. Could always still afford to drop the N-bomb. It's only 50 Omega points. With the water vapor, this could be enough, or I may have wasted a little bit by putting 2 nitrogens down. What do you think about the atmosphere now? Oxygen's really good. Nitrogen's climbing. Water vapor's climbing. I forget which the dictionary said would help with water, with air pressure. The strategy wiki had mentioned this, but it's blank. No one knows how you do this. Alright, let me find the instruction guide. It's the manual. VideoGameManual.com. There it is. Alright. Let's read the manual together. Do not get too close to the screen while you play the game. For your safety, take a 10 to 15 minute break every 2 hours. Wow. T-Mobile just took a huge dump. I hate T-Mobile so much. Hopefully it's better by this weekend so we can continue Tearing Saga. This is a high-precision game. It should not be played or stored in places that are very hot or cold. Do not hit or drop it. Never assemble it. Do not clean with paint thinner or alcohol. Oh, this is great. The manual loves this game. SimEarth is a planet simulation game. Its true enjoyment lies in not limiting your imagination, but simply trying to accomplish a goal. But by learning and exploring new ideas, SimEarth is a game that is more than a game. SimEarthlings are electronic life forms that populate your planet. SimEarthlings. They vary from unicellular organisms to an intelligent species that has reached an even higher level of civilization than the human Earthlings. More than 1 trillion SimEarthlings can live on a single planet, and their entire fate is in your hands. You are in complete control of the planet's environment, life, and civilization. Your planet has unlimited potential. SimEarth has a truly exciting challenge that you cannot find in other games. You know what? I agree. So far. Other games kind of explain themselves a little bit. And it talks about the Gaia theory. The Gaia theory is not the kind of a theory that is widely accepted in academic settings. However... Alright, T-Mobile seems to have calmed down a bit. How is oxygen still so done? We have an oxygen generator. We have some trees. It's just so many plants that they can't eat. They can't eat all the oxygen that I'm throwing down. Really, the ocean would be full of plants too, guys. Oh, one of these are gone. I guess they have a time limit on them. Oh, I know why this. The CO2 is going. Oxygen's going down because... Oh, I have this up. You absorb CO2, you release oxygen. Anyway, back to the manual. How to use the controller. The X button is listed, but does nothing. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scenarios. Alright, aquarium scenario. It's entirely water. There is no land. In the process of modernization, fire plays an important role. Tools are the key to building a civilization. It can only be made by using fire. There's no land, fire cannot be made. In short, no matter what intelligent aquatic organisms may grow, they will not be able to create a modern civilization. Problem, since there's no land, they can't develop into land animals. Hence, to make aquatic organisms develop, it is necessary to provide them with shallow water. Land is also needed. Start by creating land with volcanic eruptions. I actually did that. Or you may use the Earth command to elevate undersea Earth surfaces. Other hints. You may design the land to whatever shape you wish. Thanks. They can make land into a penis. Alright, so descriptions of all the sliders that we've already been through. Penn Island. Don't want a vacation there. No, thank you. Is there... Okay. Okay, so what these actually do according to the manual. Alright, so according to the manual, let's pop open the sliders. The frequency, this controls the frequency of periodic volcanic eruptions in the early stages. They are important for shaping the continents. This will make more land. Erosion controls the speed of erosion of mountains and other terrains by wind and rain. As erosion progresses, topical formations such as rock shelves, shallows, and sand. Yeah, you can play with whatever land is there. Core heat. The hotter the core, the larger the volcanoes. By increasing this core temperature, larger islands and higher mountains are created by volcanoes. Continental drift. Shows the speed at which magma current flows, affects the movement of the continental plate floating above the liquid magma. Meteor impact, which is the frequency of periodic meteor strikes. Axial tilt controls the planet's spin axis. It influences severity of the seasons. If it tilts more steeply, then seasons are severe. It's only noticeable in the civilization timescale. Fair, animals don't care about what season it is. Atmosphere. Controls incoming solar heat and radiation. Setting this scale on the lowest reading will turn the sun off. Here on solar impact. The guide, the manual calls it the solar input. It's spelled wrong in 2 places. You could turn the sun off. You could just decide, no, this planet dies. Cloud albedo controls the amount of solar radiation that reach the planets by limiting the reflectivity of the clouds. The lower the reflectivity, the more radiation reaches the planet. Therefore, the temperature will be higher. So if I want to lower the temperature, I raise this. Greenhouse effect creates the intensity of temperature-raising greenhouse gas. The effect is caused by vapor, methane, carbon dioxide, and other gases in the atmosphere that block the outgoing heat, which causes the planet temperature to rise. It flows the number of clouds formed from a certain quality of water vapor. You can increase that a little bit, why not? The amount of rainfall on the entire planet. Reflectivity of the continent surface. The lower, the more radiation absorbed. Thermal transfer, the rate at which air and ocean can exchange heat. Right? That person who can control the planet would be the most the weather would be the most powerful person on the planet by far. Alright, biosphere. We're down to just the 2. I don't have energy to even look at it. Alright, this is where we go ahead and... Alright, we don't have the energy to look at it. We're just going to start over. Things are increasing. Or things are fine? How many points do I need to even look at the slider? That's a discouraging beep. That's the sound you get when things are going horribly wrong. The planet just beeps at you. And the NFL ticker along the bottom starts screaming about the horrible things happening on your planet. It's usually where I end up. Maybe there's another present from Gaia around here somewhere. The crabs left me another gift of energy. Time doesn't pass when I'm scrolling. How about that? So maybe it only charges you to look at the sliders, and touching things doesn't matter. Alright, we've looked at those screens. I'll go ahead and keep reading. Biosphere. Thermal tolerance. The temperature range in which life can survive. The higher the setting, the wider the range of plants and organisms able to survive. Why would it? Alright, let's crank that to the top. The reproduction rate, which is spelled properly in the manual. This controls the reproduction speed in the early stages. It's advisable to increase populations quickly, so you should take into consideration the future cost of fossil fuels. We cranked that up, and the entire ocean filled up immediately. CO2 absorption. How much carbon dioxide is absorbed by the air from the air by plants. Excessive carbon dioxide is one of the factors of the greenhouse effect. Lowering the level of carbon dioxide lowers the temperature. One way to reduce carbon dioxide is to use an oxygenator to remove CO2. It's more effective to let plants keep a natural balance. Advance rate, the rate at which life forms advance to a higher level of development. Mutation rate, the probability that a life form will mutate. Once it has mutated to a new species, it will not regress. Alright, so I read that backwards. I think. Oh, the ice caps are coming back. They're just in season again. I guess it would be easier to just charge you just to look at it, rather than charge you per tick of the slider. That's polite. And I've been looking at the sliders a lot, so there went all of our energy. Gonna head back to home base here. Trees, some swamp, a fish. Evolve you. Tell me about life. What's life look like? Some fish. All of her is just bacteria. Let's see if I've messed up the ocean here, the biomes here. Okay, so let's... There is land everywhere, so there's that. So with our newfound knowledge, let's go ahead and restart. $19.90. It takes a while to get through. I'm pushing buttons, nothing's happening. Okay. So first thing I want to do, I think I want to stick with, is just launch a volcano. Get some land going. Speed up. You can also stop time, I guess. This squid... No, not that squid. That squid's cool. Right here. Don't accidentally drop the N-bomb. Don't want to get cancelled. Now, sliders. Alright, so now since this costs points, let's remind me what's in each of these. Alright, I do want to poke all of them, actually. The volcanoes are up. Make more land. Make more land, please. Make more land. So I have 2850. Let's try to remember that when I come out of the atmosphere. Solar impact. Actually, don't mind any of these. A little bit more water. We'll come back in here again through temperature. 2850 down to... Alright, it takes 100 to touch a slider. Tolerance. Just tolerate everything. Why not? Okay. I thought mutation would be evolution. Mutation is sidestepping. Advancement. Up. And don't need to touch civilization. We don't have one. Now we begin. What do you think, Gaia? Oh yeah. Well, we just started a few seconds ago. We just got the job. Time will tick while we keep reading the manual. Civilization stuff. We're nowhere near that. Atmospheric composition graph. That's what we've been looking at. Displays the percentage ratio. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Alright, plus or minus indicates if it's going up or going down. I didn't notice that on there before. I don't see a plus or a minus. Thanks, manual. Gases with no signs attached are temporarily stable. Oh, okay. Earth's atmosphere may have 15 to 25% oxygen. Hey, Tricordite, you're back. Remember, in the in-game wiki, it said SimEarth felt bad for these creatures and allowed them to exist in the game, even though they went extinct. Hey, we got trees. Frog. Frog is born. Somewhere on this planet is a fjord. What are you? No, not you. You're ocean. You. Amoeba. I'll pay 5 points for satisfy my curiosity. This thing has eyes. This thing's creepy. What are you? Crab. Terrifying crab. Hey, that frog needs to find its way over here. I got some trees for you, man. Back to reading. It's made of 15 to 25% oxygen. Life cannot survive without oxygen, but too much oxygen makes it prone to fire. The other components must be balance. Plants can survive without carbon dioxide. Too much dust shuts out solar radiation, leading to extinction of plants. Extinction of the planet. Water, vapor, carbon dioxide, methane in high proportions cause a greenhouse effect. There is an amphibian. Come to land. Do it. Come on. Come on, it's right there. Climb aboard. Yes, almost. Oh, yes, yes. Tidal wave. No, go. Get on land. Sprout legs. Sprout legs and fly. Oh, what is this? Trident. Fish. That's a Sahajin. That fish has a fork. That is the ruler of the ocean. There is Poseidon. We found him. Do it. Sprout legs. You're trying to evolve. Do it. The history chart in the manual is just, you can see things. There's saving, there's speed, there's music, there's Gaia. Insects again. When you have a problem, Gaia will give you hints. If a class of life reaches the 16th species, it will become an intelligent life form. Alright, so we got jungle, so it's rainy here, it's wet. That's okay. I'm worried about... Should I be worried about the crab that is holding a weapon? That's a thing crabs do, right? They're armed? Come on, do it. Well, swamps? Octopi can live in swamps. Climb aboard, man. Welcome to our island. I did throw this down on the equator. That's why it's a swamp. Haven't seen that insect. Oh, yo, look at that! Look at that squid! Yeah, look at it! That looks like standard squid, but then look at this guy! Oh, he comes in different colors. This game is adorable. Look at all the different kinds of fish. He eats so many fish. I don't know how I feel about that fish that lost my island. Where'd it go? Somewhere on the equator. How the Dark Ages happened. God just lost control. Just lost view of it, what was going on. Climb aboard. Mutate. Right, back to the manual. Bacteria release methane into the atmosphere. Methane heats up the planet. All bacteria does is fart. SimEarth, tricordites are given a chance for survival, but they cannot mutate into anything else. Oh, it's on land. He did it. He did it. Now sprout legs. Amphibian. Amphibian on land. Become reptile. No! Left land. Alright, let's look back at what the manual says about these generators. The oxygen generator removes carbon from the atmosphere. Okay. Losing land. Probably work on that. Ground. Up. Raising the land destroyed that amphibian. My bad, y'all. There. Give a bit more land for things to grow. How do we feel about the atmosphere? A little dusty. That from the volcano, that'll fix itself. Atmospheric pressure is terrible. The atmospheric density affects the planet's temperature. I feel like an N2 generator is just a good idea. Toss this one up here. Alright, so what water vapor, according to this, N2 increases the atmospheric pressure, makes sure temperature stays stable. Vaporator spews water vapor into the atmosphere, which causes more rain. Increasing the humidity, and that's how it increases temperature. You definitely don't need an ice meteor that creates water. You can use hurricanes to increase rainfall. Tidal waves are useful for eliminating unwanted coastal cities or cleaning up areas contaminated by radiation. Okay. Meteors are useful for adding water vapor to the atmosphere by increasing rainfall, creating lakes, and destroying unwanted landforms. But it adds dust into the atmosphere if it hits land. Fire occurs when oxygen is too high. Useful for regulating the oxygen and causing general destruction. General destruction. When you point to the trigger earthquake, a sub-menu will appear, allowing you to select the direction of energy expended by the earthquake. This lets you affect continental drift. There's no way to avoid earthquakes, but to avoid their damage, do not place cities near plate boundaries. To find these boundaries, look at the magma display. Okay. And plagues. Plagues are not useful for anything but destruction. That's sad. I didn't like that sound. What was that? Oh. Storm. That increases rainfall. We just read about it. The land is drifting. When too many atomic tests are done or a nuclear power plant melts down, the land will be contaminated by radiation. No life can survive when this symbol is evident. In each scenario, there is one present for you. Sometimes the present is there from the beginning, other times it appears when you do something. There is no indication when the present is placed. There's a possibility you will not notice it until you finish the scenario. To find it, you must search in the edit mode. When you find a pink treasure box, oh, it's pink, examine it and Gaia will tell you what it does. The amphibians are in the jungle. They just need to become reptiles. What are you? Amphibian. You look really silly. Come on, evolve. Dust is going down. No pluses or minuses on any of these. There's 20% oxygen's proper. That's what it's supposed to be. There's an FAQ at the end of the manual here. Make sure there's shallow water for life in the ocean. Mass extinctions are occurred by too much dust in the air, too little oxygen, or too low of a temperature. Here comes a tidal wave. Oh, it's fine. You can avoid meteor storms by lowering the level of meteors. There. How do I control fire? How do I control tornadoes? Alright, tornadoes occur when sea temperature is high. Is the temperature really high? It's high along the equator. Right where I put my landmass. Air temperature is very similar. Decrease the levels of solar input and the greenhouse effect. Increase thermal transfer. Still looking at this. Let's fix that. Hey! Hey, you! Yo, Fjorg! We found a frog! Frog. Frog exists. Frog is real. Good frog. Be a good frog. And evolve into a reptile. How can I get more nitrogen naturally? Nothing in the manual about how I could do that. How is... I threw down one up here. Gone. Maybe the tidal wave destroyed it. There. This way I can keep an eye on you. There's a frog. There are two frogs. It's a frog in the jungle. Evolve, you. What do you think, Gaia? Things are really bad, Gaia will keep up and say something. As a kid, Gaia would speak up a lot. Somewhere on this planet is present. The guide said it's here from the start. I just haven't come across it. We just found it sitting in the ocean. Sure, BTB enjoys the phallic fish. Three frogs are on land. You know what? If you want to become civilized, go for it. We have a frog world, frog civilization. Tornado. Tidal wave. Party of frogs. Army of fish. Maybe it only appears after a certain point. My land! Is this still the only land that I created? No, there's still little pieces appearing here and there. So this is where these two are changing, is where the tectonic plates are. It's orange everywhere. It's not red anywhere, so that's gotta be good, right? For a game with this much information, it doesn't really tell you a whole lot. Squids live in the jungle. That is confirmed in the in-game wiki. You! What is this? The frog has a stick! Frog Fuchsius! Kung Fu Frog! Earthquake. Earthquake, you stay away from Leonardo. But Donatello, he has a stick. Small stick? Michelangelo? Rats do not exist yet. We cannot formally train this frog yet. Turtles are amphibious creatures. Things are looking good then, right? Not really, but things are working. We got frog. I don't know how sensitive that thing is. How is the life list going here? Lots of fish. So many fish. Amphibians way up there. All three of them. I'd imagine maybe there are guides written for the PC port of this, and just not the Super Nintendo. Oh, the Japanese version. Do you think speedrunners of this use the Japanese version? The Mega CD version is a Japanese exclusive. Wild. Oh, is there a board? Are people talking about this? Yeah. This board was active in 2010. The number one thing on the board is how do you play this game. I don't know, I feel like we're almost got it under control here. We now have 2 ninja frogs. I missed. He's gone. Alright, we have 1 ninja frog. We have 24% oxygen. That should be okay. Not quite enough nitrogen. A lot of bacteria still causing that methane. I love that there's nothing about this game anywhere. There's no information anywhere. And we're gonna have to be the first ones then, huh? Whoa! Whoa! A volcano erupted. Okay. There is some more land to expand to. What did that do to the dust? Dust is up. Dust is green. Is yellow supposed to mean stagnant? Red means going down. Green means going up? Like, did the manual just lie? Plus or minus? Back on land, Donatello. Come on, Fjord. Fine, get back on there. Trees have no problem growing, so there's enough carbon for trees to grow. My nitrogen generator got destroyed by the volcano. Let's look again for that. Take a stroll around the planet of the fish planet here. Oh, no present. Eventually the crabs will leave me a gift again. Okay. Original aisle. Expanded aisle. Looks like they're attacking. My advanced amphibians are gone. All my amphibians are gone. Oh, no, there's some over here. Okay. Oh, each of these scenarios simulates actual evolution. They're all going to be 40-hour games. Got it. That's what's got to be going on here. Found a non-GameFAQs guide that also says just use monolith. Alright, green can't mean it's going up. Green's gotta mean good. What do you think, Gaia? Things are good. We started with New Zealand, and now we have in Australia. Oh, something's happening. Reptile! Yes! A land creature! Where? Where? Hopefully not under there. Did our Fjord just become a reptile and immediately set himself on fire? That would be unfortunate. Reptile? I'm looking for a reptile. Losing some biome here. CO2's fine. Maybe put some more oxygen into the atmosphere. Here, have an oxygen. I fear our reptile was under that fire. Which is caused by too much oxygen in the atmosphere. Trees are growing. Wonder if it will tell me if things go extinct. Or maybe the reptile's somewhere else. Yep, reptile's gone. Alright. Gotta wait for the next evolution. I guess it was under the fire. These two are fighting. Come on, amphibian. Oh no, he lost to the armed fish. The president probably pops up when you run out of points. This music, like, haunted my childhood. I listened to this music a lot without any understanding what was happening. To be fair, childhood me could barely read, so I don't feel so bad now that adult me read what it has to say. And drugs? Still like, huh? We have to wait for reptiles to re-exist again. So with the oxygenator down, water vapor's high. Still say green though. Oxygenator has nothing to do with the water vapor. That's gotta be just from storms. So that'll work itself out. Alright, the new landmass is starting to actually collect some trees. Squids live in the jungle. Fish don't live on land. What are you doing? Silly fish. Alright, new amphibian. Yo, what are you? Reptile! Yes! Alright, we have land animal. A lammal. Land animal. What the frick are you? Starfish. A beholder over here in the ocean. Alright, reptile, it's all up to you. You must populate the world. I like have this music on in the background at work when not much is going on. That's an archipelago over here. Dust is going down, or dust is going up. 0.6? I wasn't paying attention before. Maybe another volcano erupted. Do we have more land somewhere else? Nope. So far, just here. Just keep an eye on you, little reptile. First of your kind. Land mammal. What else is going on? Nitrogen is decreasing. Let's do the move. Nitrogen. Welcome aboard. Also, don't severely screw up and kill out all the animals. You know, boil the planet. I wonder if the timer is going to slow down when we get to a civilized era. Humans haven't been around all that long, so to do it in millions of years would be over very quickly. Yo! Well, yo! Dinosaur! Dinosaur! We had dinosaurs! Gaia, you did not inform me that dinosaurs exist. That is the saddest looking dinosaur. Look at him. He's reptile, but big. So one reptile turned into a dinosaur, or its offspring became a dinosaur. A monumentous day. Thanks, Gaia. Dude, what are you gonna do? Gaia was taking a nap. Hopefully you're an herbivore. Not much to eat in the way of creatures unless you can catch a fish. Australia is migrating away. Separating from New Zealand. 2 dinosaurs! Dinosaurs in the jungle. So much oxygen in the air. Alright, when things start to catch on fire, I've got to do something about that. Dinosaur in the water. Dinosaur, swim. Climb. Climb. Maybe I chill out the continental drift. It is changing a lot. Continental drift. Calm down. Come on, you can do it. Get back on the land. Nope, that one, it drowned. After 250,000 years, it drowned. Okay, we still have a dinosaur. I don't know. The reptile's gone. Dinosaur! Rest in peace, dinosaur. Hey, ice caps are here. Dinosaurs are gone. We had two, and then the ground moved from under them. I'm gonna need another reptile to form. Right, next time we get the land creatures, I'll go into the biosphere and I'll change them into reproducing like mad. Maybe that's how you handle that. Oxygen's still going up. Just wash away that oxygenator. Goodbye. Alright, another amphibian on land. Chance for reptile on the mainland. The original land has completely changed shape. We had dinosaurs for a little bit. We got to see a second dinosaur. Then the land moved and they drowned. What are you gonna do? I actually don't know. If you do, let me know. If there's any SimEarth masters out there. Scrolling, I found a couple of YouTube videos. And the comments are, just use a monolith. But no one out here knows how to play the game. We're gonna conquer this game. I have an idea. I'm just gonna adjust the biosphere to make a shitload of dinosaurs or reptiles. The moment I get a land creature again, we're going to populate the land and then go back to advancement. I have seen it written in more than one place that saving and loading causes weirdnesses. Fortunately, we're in the future. You can use a save state. Saving also takes like 30 seconds, which is wild. Come on, amphibian. You're already on land. Sprout legs again. Like your long-lost cousin. I mean, I could toss down an animal. 500 for one reptile. We just wait. I do have a turbo button. I do like that the map loops. That's good. And proper. A proper Taurus. Oh no, you can't go across the top. This is a sphere. You have quite a few amphibians on land. Any one of them could be the hero. And once again, sprout legs. I definitely played Random Planet as a kid. I had unlimited energy to throw down fire. Volcanoes. Never understand why that was blowing up the planet. Making Gaia very upset. No problem. Instead of being sleepy and bored at what's happening here, because this is your game, Gaia, I would be happier if the planet was just there. With a thumbs up. If temperature was too high, Gaia would say something. Don't know what I can do about lowering the water vapor. Oh, reptile! You're back. Alright. Biosphere. Time for reproduction. Make a lot of you. And you're allowed to mutate again. Become other kinds of reptiles. Let's just make a shitload of you. The oceans will also fill with creatures, but more importantly, land will. Not sure how you're gonna bone as the only reptile, but dinosaur! Just like that. Return of Dino. 2 reptiles, a dino, it's a good start. Lots of reptiles, good. Fill the land. Okay, they're up here too. An amphibian up here, sprouted legs. Welcome to my ant farm. I am God. Your Lord and Savior is but just a gamer. Welcome to my Let's Play of humanity. Well documented in the Bible that at some point God decided, no, I'm done with this map, and he washed it away and started over. Flipped the board of Monopoly and said, that's it, I'm done. As long as the land stops moving out from under my creatures. Ridiculous. Alright. The mainland is being taken by dinosaurs. Good. And bird! Bird exists. Alright, we can go back to the sliders now. I think we're done with evolution for now. Let's just try to populate what we have here. Eventually Gaia will wake up and be like, oh shit, birds. I missed. Bird. Bird has been born. Bird is as far as we'll push the evolutionary track. I want to get, for now, I want to get every square inch of land here covered by land animals. I want to see different flavors of dinosaur and reptile. Now bird, why not? Can't do anything about the oceans of crawling with with creatures. Maybe they'll evolve on a different landmass. Darby dragons. Imagine if a dragon was one of the variants of dinos. Air's good enough. Actually, if every piece of land gets covered, they won't be able to mutate into one with a brain, I imagine, is how it works. So at this point, we can now dial... It costs a bit every time, but we can dial back reproduction. Leave mutation going buck wild. Come on, just one of these dinos or birds has to evolve with a brain. Big variety in the ocean. No variety on land yet. Number one dino, number one bird, number one lizard. That dino just ate that bird. A jellyfish just hanging out in the jungle. We'll just dinosaur one. Give us that new flavor of dino. Or maybe you need reproduction up to every time there's a new one, it rolls the dice on a mutation. I mean, there's no data on this game anywhere, so... I heard a thump. Meteor. Free land. Or water vapor if it hit the ground. Water vapor in the ocean. All the dinosaurs down here are gone. Let's once again increase the reproduction rate. Need more dice rolls. We have no variety of dinosaur yet. Or bird. Dust is up there. Oxygen is down to nothing. That's probably not helping the animal situation. There. Enjoy some oxygen. There's land over here now. That's cool. In case the trigger is you run out of energy where the present goes. Imagine the speedrun of this is just toss out an animal, use a monolith. We wait for energy to recharge. No, not my stuff. No. Okay. I guess you wouldn't want to group them in case something like that happens. Dinosaurs down here are extinct. The oxygen's pretty low. Plants are here. They should be eating the carbon and releasing oxygen. What do you think, Gaia? Keep growing plants. Yep, that's the plan. Alright, so it's been 288 million years. It was 3 hours. We've learned a lot about the game. We're gonna... Next week, we'll, see if we can't get a bit more going with this. This actually went pretty quickly. Have a good one, y'all. See you next time.